What up, what up? How's it going? Happy Wednesday. How's it going, guys? So listen, if you can't handle the truth, then this may not be for you. But I know you can handle the truth because you're watching this video and you saw the title. It was kind of a game. I was like, you can't handle the truth. And then you're like, yeah, I can handle the truth. I'm going to watch this because I can handle the truth. So it's like reverse psychology, right? But here's the thing. The truth hurts. You know that. So it's going to hurt a little bit, but stay with me. And I have to get this off my chest because I talk to business owners pretty much every day now. And there's a common theme that keeps coming up. And what it is a lie that we tell ourselves as entrepreneurs. Okay. We're afraid to grow for several reasons. And one of those reasons, I talked to a guy the other day. Okay. And he's owned his own business for several years now, like 5 years. And he's still a one-man operation. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You know, why are you doing this? I know, I need to grow. Yeah, I need to hire some more help. And, you know, he really likes doing the sales, but he knows he needs to get someone to do the installs. And he has a guy that helps him or whatever, but he's really just a one-man show, okay? So he doesn't have anyone in the office. He doesn't have a salesperson. He doesn't have installers. And, you know, it's just like, it hurts me to know that he's in that position after all these years because I used to be not totally in that situation, but I know what he feels like, okay? And the lie that we tell ourselves as entrepreneurs is that no one can do the job as good as we can because an employee is not going to treat the business the same as an owner because they don't own it, okay? And it's impossible for them to do as good of a job. And that, my friends, is a lie, okay? That is a lie. And we tell ourselves that. I don't know why. I think we tell ourselves that because we're afraid of growth. We're afraid of change. We're afraid that it might not work out, that we might fail, that we're not as good of an entrepreneur as we thought. We're not as good of a trainer as we thought. And so that's normal, okay? It's normal if you're thinking like that because guess what? Every freaking entrepreneur thinks like that. And it's so frustrating because it's a total lie, okay? Like other people can do as good of a job as you. And in fact, most of the time they can do a better job because you're going to hire people to be specialists at what they do. And so you're not going to be instead of you doing, 5, 10, 20, 100 different things, you're now going to have one person that does one or two different things. Getting distracted by Amazon over there. You can't see. There's a guy at the door. Anyway, let me show you this. I'm going to flip the camera because this should overwhelm you. Guys, look at this list I made. And I made this list in like 30 seconds. So what does that tell you? It's not complete. This is a list of what most entrepreneurs, especially this guy I talked to the other day, if you're a one-man show, even a two-man show, do these things look familiar to you? Are you answering the phone every day? Do you do payroll, bookkeeping, invoicing, bills, schedule your service calls, schedule your installs, order materials, schedule your sales calls, okay? You have to schedule your own sales calls. You have to do Facebook posts, advertising. Are you doing direct mail, website? Someone's got to organize that. Even if you're not doing it yourself, you got to talk to people and let them sell you on it. Hiring, recruiting, those are different things. Recruiting is different than hiring. Training, customer follow-up, email marketing, employee evaluations, follow up with leads, installs, maintenance, respond to reviews, maintenance renewals, receive deliveries, prep and stage your jobs, purchase tools, network with other businesses, actually doing the sales, okay? Maintain your CRM. If you don't have a CRM, you got to get a CRM. You got to research the CRM, okay? These things take time. You got to clean your shop, maintain your truck, research for new products. Guys, that list freaking scares the hell out of me. Can you believe that? Let's go back to it. Look at all that. If you're a one-man show, you've got to do all that and more. All that and more. Okay? That's a lot of freaking crap. Okay? That to me looks like the work of about 15 employees. So the next time you go to tell yourself that lie that someone else is not capable of doing what you do because it's impossible for them to be vested in your company because they're not an owner, look at that list backwards. Look at that list. Okay? That is what you're doing right now. And chances are you're not doing it very well. I mean, there's just no way that one person can be the master of all those things. Let's go back to that. You think that you can be the master of all these things and that you yourself are better at doing all these things than just hiring some help. Okay. I mean, that is a lot of work. Just sales is a full-time thing. Okay. Just installs is a full-time thing. That's 40 hours, that's 80 hours. And just paying the bills, that's like 10 hours. Hopefully you're invoicing a lot, and that's 40 hours of invoicing, right? So that is a lot of work, guys. So the sooner that you can recognize that and understand the truth that you are not better than your future employee, that other people can do as good or even a better job than you, the sooner you'll start to be able to scale your business and go from being a highly paid, like having a highly paid hobby, to actually being not just a business operator, but being a business owner, okay? And I had that realization. So for me, when I started my business, luckily I had this realization early on. Like I wanted to be a business owner, and I found myself day one being an installer, okay? Installs right here, backwards. I was doing the installs, and I'm like, dude, I'm not a lighting installer. I don't even know how to do this stuff. It only took me like a week or two of doing installs to realize, okay, I'm hiring some people to do this. And hired 2 installers. And that was great because it freed up my time to be able to go focus on what was, then I was like, man, if I could just get someone to do the installs, this is going to free up all sorts of time. But what I found is it didn't solve the problem. It just revealed a new problem. Because then I had time to answer the phones and do the sales and do the payroll and do everything else on that list minus installs. But I still was just slammed busy, right? I even did the maintenance. I had 6 to 10 stops every day that people had light bulbs out, whatever I had to go replace. And my installers were too busy doing installs, so I had to do the maintenance. Then after a while, I'm like, hey, if I could just get someone to answer the phone, right? And so I hired someone to answer the phone. And then I also was able to offload a lot of these things. Again, it's backwards, sorry. But like they could do the invoicing. They could pay the bills. They could order the materials. Just answering the phone was worth it. But all these other things were, just add-ons and just perks to the position. So that was awesome. And then I thought, oh man, imagine now that I've got someone answering the phones, my time's free, right? Well, not really. My time was still filled. And so I thought, well, no one's better at sales than me. No one can sell lighting as good as me. I am the man, right? And I delayed for years hiring someone because I had this false belief. Okay, like why couldn't someone sell more lighting than me? Because I believed that I was the only one that could sell lighting. When I finally made that commitment to hire someone, I was like, dude, this is amazing. They're going out and selling because again, I just taught them the method and told them step by step what to say, when to say it, how to say it, what to show, when to show, all those things. If you dial in your systems, it makes it easy. One of my first sales guys had never even sold anything. And I gave him the iPad. He went and sold his first lighting job on his very first appointment, a $6,000 job on the spot with no sales experience, didn't even know what landscape lighting was. I mean, he'd just been hired for 5 hours, just had a little bit of training, went and sold it on the spot. So people can do as good or better than you. And I would make the argument that they will do better than you because chances are, if you're just a 1 or 2 man show, then you're trying to do all this thing behind me, everything on that board. And how efficient can you be? You can't be the best salesperson and the best installer and the best customer service and the best phone answer it just doesn't exist, okay? So you need to create specialists in your business and figure out what your specialty is. You can be the best salesperson and you can be your only salesperson, but you have to have other people hired in other areas so that you can really scale and be a functioning business, not just a paid hobby where it's like, one of the things that drives me crazy is you get a lot of people and they like brag online, like, oh yeah, I've never advertised a day in my life. Well, listen, if you've never advertised a day in your life, you're not going to form a $1 million business, a $5 million business, a $10 million business. Unless you're selling like $1 million products and you just have to sell one, then that's fine. But generally speaking, most businesses, in order to scale, you have to advertise, okay? And when you advertise, that means your costs go up, which means you kind of need to sell more, right? And when you sell more, you might need some sales help. And when you have more people, you might need an office manager. Like, it just makes sense. If you want to serve your customer at the highest level, the answer is not being self-employed and being a one-man show. A lot of people lie to themselves and they say, well, yeah, I just do this because I do it better than anyone else and I want my customers to be happy. Well, that's a lie. Because if you wanted your customers to be happy and you wanted to serve them at the highest level and you wanted to deliver the top product, the top service, you would build a team. Okay, you would have a team of specialists answering the phone, doing the installs, and doing all that because you are letting your customers down right now. You don't think you are, but you are because you can't be in two places at once. You can't be in a sales appointment, presenting to someone, and answer the phone when someone calls and says that they need service. You can't do that, okay? If you do, you're going to piss off somebody, okay? So who are you going to piss off? And you're going to have trade-offs. But if you build a team, you don't have to make those trade-offs. You can be in a sales appointment and someone answers the phone and schedules that service call, and then someone else does that service call the next day, rather than you telling yourself, oh yeah, I need to go by so-and-so's house tomorrow, and then you forget. And then they call and text you and say, hey, when were you coming by? And you're like, oh, sorry, I forgot, I'll come tomorrow. And then you forget, and it's just this never-ending process. So it's so important, guys. I don't want you to think if you own a business that I'm coming down on you. I'm just calling it out, right? Like I said, the truth hurts, and sometimes you can't handle the truth. Okay, but don't worry, because the world has made you think these false beliefs. And I used to think them too. I used to think no one could sell like me. Now I've got a sales guy, or I sold the business, but he's selling more than I ever sold. Okay, and that's freaking awesome. Like, I'm so proud. It's like a father-son. Like when your son exceeds what you did. Like it's not like a kick in the nuts. It's like, dude, that's freaking awesome. You know what I mean? So guys, if you want to scale your business, if you want to serve your client at the highest level, you want to deliver the best product and service, you have to build a team. Like, that's the only way. You are human, which means you are not capable of doing all these things better than anyone. Okay, you're not a superhero. Sorry. Like, you can't do all these things perfect. Okay? Even when you build a team, they're not going to do it perfect. But they're much more likely to do when you have a dedicated salesperson and a dedicated install team and a dedicated maintenance team, okay? And you have someone that is in charge of like advertising and email marketing. You're much more likely to succeed. You're much more likely to be perfect and get a better result. So that's my encouragement for today, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. If you're a one-man show, if this helped you, if you were a one-man show and you've started to scale and you've started to hire and trust people, how has it impacted you? Is it tough? Is it easy? What do you think your customers are better off? I mean, I'm just speaking from my heart. I'm just speaking from my experience. And, my mission is to really help people scale their business so that they can go to work because they want to, not because they have to. Okay. And that was one of my goals in life, and my mission in life is like, man, I just want, whatever I do, I really want to go to work because I want to, not because I have to, because it sucks feeling like, crap, I got to get up and I go to work today. Like, when you feel like you have to do something, it just sucks. But when you want to, there's not a better feeling, okay? Because you actually feel grateful for it. And when you have gratitude in your heart, like, all sorts of cool things happen. And that's when you start to get success. That's when you start to get momentum. And that's when it gets easy. And that's when life's enjoyable. So that's what I'm trying to help you guys get. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, shoot me a message and we'll talk. Love you guys. Peace.